Was it because I was not prepared? Because that could have been a reason. It's a Valentine's Day showdown.
Do it.
I hate it.
Books for the romance lovers and books for the non-romance lovers.
I like it. Can you say it like that? Right? Okay.
Okay, let's do this. Welcome to Our Life in Books, where we talk about our lives, books, and everything in between. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Samantha.
And we're cousins.
This week, we're talking Valentine's Day, whether you celebrate with romance books or thrillers. But first, what tea are we drinking?
So this week, we're drinking the blackberry tea from Adagio. It's just a black tea with blackberry flavoring in it. Nothing super special this week, but it's still really good.
It's really good. Sometimes you just need a simple tea.
Yeah. Heck yeah. That's why I have so many of those.
Yeah, you got it. It's like the little sample.
Yeah. It's like a sampler size.
That's one of the things I really like about Adagio is they have a ton of samples. You can just pick what you want.
Well, and then I like to get the samples and then use those to mix different teas together to try and figure out what would taste good.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We're making our teas.
Yeah. She is in charge of that. I'm not.
We need to make another one. P.S.
It's on our list.
Okay. So what are you reading?
I just finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson.
Yes. We both got this book, right?
Yes. I think we're going to read it for possibly a mini episode in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really think we should. It was so good. I read it in a day because I couldn't put it down.
Oh, goodness. I know. You just told me you were reading it yesterday, and then today you said you were finished. I was like, wait, what?
I got so hooked. It was so cool because in the book, not to try and spoil it for you or anything, but you'll see it. There are actual documents, fake documents and pictures.
Those are my favorite.
And she does lists of her murder suspects, and then she'll keep changing them and crossing it out, and it's so good. And
I can't remember what they call that. There's a name for that when those kind of things are in books.
Yeah.
But that's one of my favorite things.
Me too, because it feels real.
Uh-huh.
And then another little tidbit, I'm trying to spoil a lot, but they do a murder board, with the red string.
What?
And I just want to do one of those. Now I don't even know why, but I'm going to do one. I don't know what for.
We're going to do it when we do our box.
Yeah, I was genuinely thinking that because they did it and she described how they were doing it. Oh my God, it was so good. But I'll read the synopsis. It's a YA mystery. Everyone in Fairview knows the story. Pretty and popular high school senior Addie Bell was murdered by her boyfriend, Sal Singh, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about. And 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. But she can't shake the feeling that there is more to what happened that day. She knew Sal when she was a child, and he was always so kind to her. How could he have possibly been a killer? Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project, at first just to cast doubt on the original investigation. But soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent, and the line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her life might be in danger. This is the story of an investigation turned obsession, full of twists and turns and with an ending you'll never expect.
Ooh.
It genuinely is all of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Up until the end, I didn't know really who it was or why, and it's just so good. And there's so many suspects. She'll be like, no, it's them, no, it's them, no, it's them, no, it's them. Yes.
And I just posted about this book today, too.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh,
on
cool.
Instagram. Yeah.
I didn't see that. I'm so sorry.
How
I'll
dare
probably
you?
see it tonight.
Go like it right now.
What are you reading?
So I haven't picked it up quite yet, but this is the next book I'm planning on reading. It's called Salty Bittersweet by Mara Suevas. It's a YA contemporary. So here's the synopsis. Happiness, like love, arrives through the kitchen. At least that's what my abuela Layla used to say. I may not know much about love, but I definitely got the kitchen part down. 17-year-old aspiring chef Isabella Fields' family has fallen apart after the death of her Cuban abuela and the divorce of her parents. She moves in with her dad and his new wife in France, where Isabella feels like an outsider in her father's new life, studiously avoiding the awkward, "why did you cheat on mom?" conversation. The upside of Isabella's world being turned upside down, her father's house is located only 30 minutes away from the restaurant of world-famous chef Pascal Gratard, who opens a prestigious and competitive international kitchen apprenticeship. The prize chef at Chef Gratard's renowned restaurant also represents a transformative opportunity for Isabella, who's desperate to get her life back in order. But how can Isabella expect to hold it together when she's at the bottom of her class at the apprenticeship? Her new stepmom is pregnant. She misses her abuela dearly, and a mysterious new guy and his albino dog fall into her life.
Oh,
yeah,
this sounds so cute.
I love books that have like a big, I don't know, like centered on food.
Yeah.
Like, I just really love when food is mentioned in books, so I'm excited to read this one.
Well, plus you're such a good like cook, and you like to make up your own recipes, so I can definitely like see you really liking this book.
And I'm on a blog tour for this one, so
that's
beginning
exciting.
of March, I should be posting about
Nice.
it. I can't remember what date, but here soon, so I got to get it read.
They'll have to follow you on Instagram to see it. Try it. You post on there as well?
I'm going to post a picture on there, and then the review will be on my blog.
Cool.
Yeah.
It sounds really cute.
That's what I thought, too. And the cover is so pretty.
I remember you just showed it to me.
It's like pink and green. And
I like the Good Girl's Guide to Murder book. So it was originally printed over, I think, in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Last year, 2019, and it came out in America in 2020. I think they did some changes to make it more Americanized, and they changed the cover, but it has like a little rips piece of paper and the red yarn and everything like that. So I think it's so cute.
Oh, I love it.
My Kindle Unlimited recommendation kind of fits our theme. It's Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli, which I think it's so cool that Kindle Unlimited has that book.
Yes.
Like, it's a movie, and it's very popular, and they have it.
Right. They have a lot of really awesome books.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So I will do the synopsis. It's a YA contemporary romance. 16-year-old but not so openly gay Simon Spear prefers to save his drama for the school musical. But when an email falls into the wrong hands, his secret is at risk of being thrust into the spotlight. Now Simon is actually being blackmailed. If he doesn't play wingman for the class clown Martin, his sexual identity will become everyone's business. Worse, the privacy of Blue, the pen name of the boy he's been emailing, will be compromised. With some messy dynamics emerging in his once tight-knit group of friends and his email correspondence with Blue growing more flirtatious every day, Simon's junior year has suddenly gotten all kinds of complicated. Now, change-averse Simon has to find a way to step out of his comfort zone before he's pushed out without alienating his friends, compromising himself, or fumbling a shot at happiness with one of the most confusing, adorable guys he's ever met.
Aww.
It's so cute.
Mm-hmm. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And then there's a movie coming out this year? Or is it already out?
I think it's already out.
Oh, gosh. This is how behind I am in things.
And I remember watching the trailer, and it's so cute. Like, I don't know if how close the book is with the movie, but I really liked one of the parts is, like, his parents were like, it's okay to go and, like, be yourself and, like, go be, like, who you want to be. It seems like he's kind of like a wallflower, and they want him to just go and live his life, and, like, it's okay. So I really want to read this book. I got it from Kindle Unlimited. I'm so excited.
Yay. And the movie is called Love, Simon.
Yes.
They changed it for the movie. All right. So my prime reading rec this week is What Have You Done by Matthew Farrell. It's a mystery thriller. When a mutilated body is found hanging in a seedy motel in Philadelphia, forensic specialist Liam Dwyer assumes the crime scene will be business as usual. Instead, the victim turns out to be a woman he'd had an affair with before breaking it off to save his marriage. But there's a bigger problem. Liam has no memory of where he was or what he did on the night of the murder. Panicked, Liam turns to his brother Sean, a homicide detective. Sean has his back, but incriminating evidence keeps piling up. From fingerprints to DNA, everything points to Liam, who must race against time and his department to uncover the truth, even if that truth is his own guilt. Yet as he digs deeper, dark secrets come to light, and Liam begins to suspect the killer might actually be Sean. When the smoke clears in this harrowing family drama, who will be left standing?
That sounds so good.
Right?
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure I have a copy of this, so I feel like I just need to go read it. I mean, I can read the physical copy or prime reading.
Exactly.
Either one, but it sounds really good.
It does sound really good. I didn't see that last part coming. I was like, wait, what?
Right?
So we have a couple book news or book fun topics relating to Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So Goodreads Romance Week. There'll be a link down in the description.
So they have some like recommendations. They have romance for beginners in case, you haven't really read romance before. They kind of tell you where to start. They have an article on 32 swoon-worthy YA books of the last decade. Reflections of a Novelist. They have an author kind of talk about different romance books that came out in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Top 100 romance books. And then there's a romance pen name generator.
Yeah, so I thought we could do that really quick. I know romance isn't for everyone, but sometimes you just gotta like...
Sometimes, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I need something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Like I just need to not be so invested in like the fantasy story or whatever. I just need to read and enjoy it.
Definitely. And like some romances is nice to have like a happy ending. But I have been like, kind of going back and forth between like thrillers and mysteries and then romance, which has been really fun. Okay, romance pen name generator. So do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So mine is Guinevere Feversham. It's a mouthful.
It is. It sounds like you're from like the historical romance.
I like Guinevere. I do like too. That. But Feversham is quite interesting.
That's right. So mine is Savannah Wildhall.
Ooh,
Savannah Wildhall.
I like that. I like the Samantha Savannah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a good pen name.
That is. That's going to be my pen. These are going to be our pen names, guys.
I think it's funny because if you have an A first name, it's Blanche, and that is what I named my car.
That is the car. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And that's also our grandma's name, our great grandma's name.
Yeah.
Blanche.
And then we also have a Valentine's Day quiz from the novel.
We love our quizzes.
We do. They're really good.
So it's who is your literary BFF based on your Valentine's Day brunch?
I love brunch. I'm just going to say I am a brunch person.
Are you?
Yes. We need to go to brunch.
I mean, I don't know. Breakfast food's okay, but I don't really eat breakfast.
Yeah. No, but...
So brunch if it's like noon.
Yeah, you do like 11 to noon, but there's that Tata Yaya place in Cedar Falls that does crepes.
Ooh.
Both savory and sweet. And breakfast and lunch.
Definitely try that.
That's my brunch.
Right.
I need options.
I think that's usually why. Like, I like the savory breakfast foods, and then I have to have like a little bit of the sweet.
Back to
the quiz. All right, question 1. How do you know the friends you're inviting to Valentine's Day brunch? We've been BFFs since kindergarten. I'm still close to all the people that lived on my floor freshman year of college. Study abroad friends. The trip only lasted a month, but our bond will last forever. Or I live with them. They're my siblings. LOL. Yeah, I mean, the closest to the truth, I guess, would be BFF since kindergarten.
Yeah.
It'd be like you and Nicole.
Yeah. That's why I was like, don't have a lot of friends. And I've known Brittany and you since forever, and Hannah since long enough. So yeah, let's do that one.
The closest.
All right. What are you eating? We fancy here. Sushi.
Oh my gosh.
Sharing is caring. Ethiopian. We're having a potluck brunch. Keeping it classy. Pizza. Breakfast food. What else would we eat? For brunch, I'd either want like a potluck where you just have like a bunch of different things. Since we love choice. Feasts. Or breakfast food.
That was what I was between two. Potluck.
Okay, I'll do breakfast food.
What kind of yummy drinks will be served? Milkshakes decked out with everyone's favorite candy. Fresh fruit smoothies. Hand-squeezed orange juice made from the ones grown in my backyard. The finest cappuccinos found in the city, or movie tea.
Well, it depends on who I'm going to brunch with.
Right.
Because it's orange juice with champagne in it. or it's coffee, or it's tea.
I really like fresh fruit smoothies. I think that sounds really good.
It does sound really good. Most of the time at brunch, I probably do a coffee. Because I'm maybe hungover.
Maybe, just maybe.
You decide to make a special dessert for your friends. What is it? Heart-shaped cookies made with my family's secret recipe. Dulce de leche cake. French imported macaroons, not made by me, but still special. Ice cream. Waffles for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert.
Oh my goodness. That's Leslie Knope's answer there.
That is. I like macaroons, so I'm going to go with that.
I'm going to go with heart-shaped cookies because I feel like I like to bake when I have time.
And I like to buy cookies.
What gifts are you bringing for your guests? Personalized cross-stitch portraits, a Spotify playlist with the song titles writing out my very favorite memory with that person, a surprise group spa day in Soho. We'll all head downtown after brunch. Everyone's getting something completely different, something that's unique only to them, or a 10-page heartfelt letter citing all the reasons why I love that person and what I wish for them in the future.
Aw, well, I already know which one's me because it's what I do. Everyone's getting something completely different.
I feel like that's the only one that makes sense for me because cross-stitch portraits, again, Leslie Knope, hello. And I just started listening to Spotify today, so
I'm glad you're finally joining us in the 21st century.
Listen, I listen to Apple Music.
Yeah. It's just nice. Spotify does like the whole like.
Well, that's what I wanted
mix-ups.
Today because I was like, I want to listen to music, but I don't want to change the playlist every hour. Like, I just want to push it and go.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget about it. So, anyways,
why do you love the people in your Valentine's Day brunch?
Oh.
They're like family. I can always count on their loyalty. I've had a bit of a rough year, and they really showed up to help me through such a tough time. We mesh so well, I know we can tackle any problem that comes our way together. They push me to be a better person through example. They love me for who I am, but inspire me to be my best self. It doesn't matter how far apart we are. I know they'll always be there for me.
Dang.
Oh. Well, I guess it'd be like the first one.
That's what I was going to say. They're like family.
Or the last one. Because like I feel like each of my friends have like been far away from me at one point or another. Or different. Not even like in distance, but in like where we're at in life. Mm-hmm. But nothing has ever changed. Yeah. So I'm going to go with that one. Okay. So you can go the first one if you want.
Okay.
Since we want to answer all these the same.
Always.
What did you get? I got Serena from Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart.
Oh, yeah.
Despite the patriarchal pitfalls Serena finds herself at the beginning of Grace and Fury, Serena's loyalty and unwavering love of her sister Naomi makes her a better person by the end. And yeah, Serena's awesome because she becomes a warrior on Mount Ruin, but Serena ultimately belongs at your Valentine's Day brunch because she'd never give up on you no matter what happens.
That's a really good book.
That's really cute. Have you read it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to read that.
Very good. Okay, so I got Dove from The Revolution of Bertie Randolph by Brandy Colbert. Down to earth, loving and sweet Dove, Bertie Randolph, is a beautiful little cinnamon roll. She loves the people in her life for who they are and how they've changed and refuses to see people as one-dimensional. While some view second chances as weakness, Dove wouldn't see it that way. Dove looks beyond people's exteriors and pasts before judging them, making a true and loyal friend. I really love Brandy Colbert's books, so I really need to read that one.
Yeah, it sounds really good. That was fun. Let us know what you guys got.
Yes.
So now on to Valentine's Day versus Anti-Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so we decided Samantha was in charge of picking romance books because she likes romance books. Ooh. And then I was in charge of picking the Anti-Valentine's Day books, the like thriller, suspense. And I tried to stick with ones that are like domestic thriller that, have to do with relationships. So let's go.
Yeah, I think this will be good. All right, I'll start. The first one for the Valentine's Day, pro-Valentine's Day, is Perfect Chemistry by Simone Eccles. It's a YA romance. When Brittany Ellis walks into chemistry class on the first day of her senior year, she has no clue that her carefully created perfect life is about to unravel before her eyes. She's forced to be lab partners with Alex Fuentes, a gang member from the other side of town, and he is about to threaten everything she's worked so hard for. Her flawless reputation, her relationship with her boyfriend, and the secret that her home life is anything but perfect. Alex is a bad boy and he knows it, so when he makes a bet with his friends to lure Brittany into his life, he thinks nothing of it. But soon Alex realizes Brittany is a real person with real problems, and suddenly the bet he made in arrogance turns into something much more. In a passionate story about looking beneath the surface, Simone Eccles breaks through the stereotypes and barriers that threaten to keep Brittany and Alex apart.
Ooh.
I've read this one. It's really good. Yes.
It sounds good.
It was one of the books that we saw at BookCon for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I really liked it. It definitely takes some turns that you don't see, but it's very good romance.
Awesome. Okay. So now for the retaliation book, I don't know. Anti-Valentine's Day book is Mine by Courtney Cole. It's a thriller suspense. Tessa was prepared for the hurricane. Lindsay was the storm she didn't see coming. When Tessa Taylor unlocked her husband Ethan's iPad to discover nude photos from a 26-year-old bombshell named Lindsay, her seemingly perfect life came screeching to a halt. With a hurricane barreling toward Florida and Ethan stuck on a business trip, Tessa finds herself imprisoned in her own home with a choice to make. Does she ride out the storm until she can confront Ethan in person, or does she take matters into her own hands? Increasingly restless and desperate for revenge, Tessa resolves to act, and when she lures Lindsay over for a few hours later, there's no turning back. What ensues is a battle of wills between two well-matched opponents, blinded by love for the same man but driven by demons of their own. Like storm-ravaged Florida, neither woman will be the same when the sky is clear. So I read this last year, and it was so good. It's that, I don't know, it's just got a different premise than a lot of thrillers. You know, the wife kind of taking everything into her own hands and confronting her husband's mistress, and she doesn't pull punches. And then when you get to the end of the book, Courtney Cole has a author's note that kind of tells you she wrote this from experience, and she kind of leaves it up to you to decide what she pulled from experience and what she pulled from her brain.
Oh, so, wow. Yeah. That's so cool. The cover is really cool on the Mine. It's not what I expected.
Yeah, it's like a bed sheet and lipstick.
Yeah. And I really like the cover. That's cool. So the next pro-Valentine's Day one is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. It's a YA romance. I had to include it because I want to include a good cry. Like sometimes, maybe it's Valentine's Day and you need a good cry. I mean, maybe you just need a good cry in general. Have you read this book?
I have not.
I didn't. I thought this was one of the ones that you haven't read, and I
avoid ones where I know I'm gonna cry. Like if I go into it not knowing, then that's one thing. But if I go into it knowing, I have to be in the right mood.
Yes, I agree. And this one in particular, you cry a lot. Like basically the whole time. Okay, I'll read the synopsis. Despite the tumor-shrinking medical miracle that has bought her a few years, Hazel has never been anything but terminal, her final chapter inscribed upon diagnosis. But when a gorgeous plot twist named Augustus Waters suddenly reappears at Cancer Kid Support Group, Hazel's story is about to be completely rewritten. Insightful, bold, irreverent, and raw, The Fault in Our Stars is award-winning author John Green's most ambitious and heartbreaking work yet, brilliantly exploring the funny, thrilling, and tragic business of being alive and being in love. Aww. So it's really good. I don't want to spoil it for you.
In the movie, doesn't it have the same girl as from
Divergent?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Sorry about the humming.
Yeah, and she's so good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my next one is completely different. It's called The Perfect Girlfriend by Kieran Hamilton. It's another thriller. So the synopsis says, you've never read a love story as twisted as this. Juliet loves Nate. She will follow him anywhere. She's even become a flight attendant for his airline so she can keep a closer eye on him. They are meant to be. The fact that Nate broke up with her 6 months ago means nothing, because Juliet has a plan to win him back. She is the perfect girlfriend, and she'll make sure no one stops her from getting exactly what she wants. True love hurts, but Juliet knows it's worth all the pain.
That sounds so good.
I read it last year, and it is so good. It's just so, I don't know. Again, I like these kind of thrillers. It's a lot of it is told from her perspective. Maybe it's all. I can't remember exactly. But either way, when the woman is the bad guy is just fun. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Because usually it's a man inflicting violence on a woman somehow.
Yeah.
And this is her just kind of being crazy.
Yeah. Is it kind of like you where you don't know what's true and what's not because it's from her perspective?
I think some of it is like that because I think she might over-exaggerate the relationship a bit.
That's what I was wondering. She was like, I'm the perfect girlfriend. I'm like,
Are you? Because this is a little crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really good. And another one that you read super fast because you just can't get enough.
Yeah. Okay, the next one I have is Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon. It's a YA romance. My disease is as rare as it is famous. It's a form of severe combined immunodeficiency. But basically, I'm allergic to the world. I don't leave my house, have not left my house in 15 years. The only people I ever see are my mom and my nurse, Carla. But then one day, a moving truck arrives. New next-door neighbors. I look out the window and I see him. He's tall, lean, and wearing all black. Black t-shirt, black jeans, black sneakers, and a black knit cap that covers his hair completely. He catches me looking and stares at me. I stare right back. His name is Ollie. I want to learn everything about him, and I do. I learn that he is funny and fierce. I learn that his eyes are Atlantic Ocean blue and that his vice is stealing silverware. I learn that when I talk to him, my whole world opens up, and I feel myself starting to change, starting to want things, to want to be out of my bubble, to want everything the world has to offer. Maybe we can't predict our future, but we can predict some things. For example, I'm certainly going to fall in love with Ollie. It's almost certain it's going to be a disaster.
Aww.
Sounds so good.
And that one is turned into a movie too.
Yes. Right? And it's like,
I feel like that needs to be added to our list. I mean, I'm sure it's somewhere on our list.
I think it's on our list, but it does need to be added because it's one of those movies I've been wanting to watch, but I'm going to wait for us.
Yes. I want to read the book first.
Yes. And I really like the cover. It's
so pretty.
Yeah, it's just one of those really cute, pretty books.
All right. So my next pick is White Rabbit by Caleb Rohrig. It's a YA mystery, and it's got LGBTQ plus characters. Rufus Holt is having the worst night of his life. It begins with the reappearance of his ex-boyfriend, Sebastian, the guy who stomped his heart out like a spent cigarette. Just as Rufus is getting ready to move on, Sebastian turns up out of the blue saying they need to talk. Things couldn't get much worse, right? But then Rufus gets a call from his sister April, begging for help. And then he and Sebastian find her drenched in blood and holding a knife beside the dead body of her boyfriend, Fox Whitney. April swears she didn't kill Fox, but Rufus knows her too well to believe she's telling him the whole truth. April has something he needs, though, and her price is his help. Now, with no one to trust but the boy he wants to hate yet can't stop loving, Rufus has one night to prove his sister's innocence or die trying.
That sounds so good.
It's very good. It's another one of those that you just keep guessing to the end, and it's like heart pounding because it takes place over one night.
Oh.
So you can't put it down.
Yeah.
You just cannot put it down.
Oh, it sounds so fast paced.
So good.
So my next one is Boy Meets Boy by David Leviathan. It's a YA romance with LGBTQ plus characters. This is a story of Paul, a sophomore at a high school like no other. The cheerleaders ride Harleys. The homecoming queen used to be a guy named Daryl. She now prefers Infinite Darlene and is also the star quarterback. And the Gay Straight Alliance was formed to help the straight kids learn how to dance. When Paul meets Noah, he thinks he's found the one his heart is made for, until he blows it. The school bookie says the odds are 12-1 against him getting Noah back, but Paul's not giving up without playing his love really loud. His best friend Joni might be drifting away, his other best friend Tony might be dealing with an ultra-religious parent, and his ex-boyfriend Kyle might not be going away anytime soon, but sometimes everything needs to fall apart before it can really fit back together. This is a happy, meaningful romantic comedy about finding love, losing love, and doing what it takes to get the love back in the crazy, wonderful world.
Oh, it sounds so good.
Doesn't it sound so good?
I haven't read any of his stuff, but every time I hear like a synopsis of one of his books, I just want to pick it up right now.
Right?
Because he's the author of Every Day. Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Every day, or no? It's
just every day. Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking of everything.
And the cover is blue with like those little candy hearts.
Oh.
Right. There's like 3 candy hearts across the top. I just love it.
That's adorable. My next pick is Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. It's a YA paranormal mystery. So it's a mystery with a twist. Mila Flores and her best friend, Riley, have always been inseparable. There's not much excitement in their small town of Cross Creek, so Mila and Riley make their own fun, devoting most of their time to Riley's favorite activity, amateur witchcraft. So when Riley and 2 Fairmont Academy mean girls die under suspicious circumstances, Mila refuses to believe everyone's explanation that her BFF was involved in a suicide pact. Instead, armed with a tube of lip gloss and an ancient grimoire, Mila does the unthinkable to uncover the truth. She brings the girls back to life. Unfortunately, Riley, June, and Dayton have no recollection of their murders, but they do have unfinished business to attend to. Now, with only 7 days until the spell wears off and the girls return to their graves, Mila must wrangle the distracted group of undead teens and work fast to discover their murderer before the killer strikes again.
And you read this, right?
Yeah. So it's a murder mystery, but it's also a lot about, like girl friendships and it's just really good. I just love books about groups of friends like that. Mm-hmm. And these are, unlikely friends, but they're friends all the same. So
and is the mystery part like gripping, or is it kind of like
you don't know until the very end. Like I didn't guess it. I didn't guess there's twists, and it's really good.
I can't wait
Plus
to read
I like
that.
all the witchy stuff.
Yes. Okay, my next one is Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. It's a YA romance with LGBTQ plus characters. Millie Quint is devastated when she discovers that her sort of best friend, sort of girlfriend, has been kissing someone else. And because Millie cannot stand the thought of confronting her ex every day, she decided to apply for scholarships to boarding schools. The farther from Houston, the better. Millie can't believe her luck when she's accepted into one of the world's most exclusive schools, located in the rolling highlands of Scotland. Everything about Scotland is different. The country is misty and green, the school is gorgeous, and the students think Americans are cute. The only problem? Millie's roommate, Flora, is a total princess. She's also an actual princess of Scotland. At first, the girls can barely stand each other. Flora is both high class and high key. But before Millie knows it, she has another sort of best friend, sort of girlfriend. Even though Princess Flora could be a new chapter in her love life, Millie knows the chances of happily ever after are slim. After all, real life isn't a fairy tale. Or is it?
Oh, it sounds adorable.
And it has romance, it has boarding school, and I got to read a little excerpt from NetGalley, and I was already in. It was so good, like the interactions from her, because like, of course, Flora is like snobby, and Millie just like gives it right back to her. Like Millie's the first person that treats Flora like an equal.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's really good.
I want to go to a boarding school in Scotland. How does that work?
How do we sign up?
All right. My next pick is My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. This is a thriller, and again, it involves couples, but in a much different way. A couple's 15-year marriage has finally gotten too interesting. Our love story is simple. I met a gorgeous woman. We fell in love. We had kids. We moved to the suburbs. We told each other our biggest dreams and our darkest secrets, and then we got bored. We look like a normal couple. We're your neighbors, the parents of your kids' friends, the acquaintances you keep meaning to get dinner with. We all have secrets to keeping a marriage alive. Ours just happens to be getting away with murder.
Oh my gosh. It's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. No, I'm just kidding.
So it's a couple that decides like they want to spice up their love life, and they decide to kill someone together.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But then, of course, it's like things don't go as planned, and things aren't how they are or how they think they are, and maybe they're both lying to each other about things that happened, and it's really good.
Ooh,
it's
really good. Okay, my next one is All Our Broken Pieces by L.D. Crichton. It's a YA romance. Lennon Davis doesn't believe in much, but she does believe in the security of the number 5. If she flicks the bedroom light switch 5 times, maybe her new LA school won't suck. And maybe that doesn't feel right, so she flicks the switch again and again. 10 more flicks of the switch, and maybe her new step family will accept her. 25 more flicks, and maybe she won't cause any more of her loved ones to die. 50 times more, and then she can finally go to sleep. Kyler Benton witnesses this pattern of lights from the safety of his treehouse in the yard next door. It is only there, hidden from the unwanted stares of his peers, that Kyler can fill his notebook with lyrics that reveal his true scars of the boy behind the oversized hoodies. But Kyler finds that descriptions of blonde hair, sad eyes, and tapping fingers are beginning to fill the pages of his notebook. Lennon, the lonely girl next door his father has warned him about, infiltrates his mind. Even though he has enough to deal with without Lennon's rumored tragic past in his life, Kyler can't help but want to know the truth about his new muse. Aww, sounds so good. Does sound really good. I want to read it.
All right, my next pick is The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This is the writing duo that has also written An Anonymous Girl And then they have a new one coming out this year. I can't think of the name right now. But I haven't read this one, and it sounds really good. When you read this book, you will make many assumptions. You will assume you are reading about a jealous ex-wife. You will assume she is obsessed with her replacement, a beautiful younger woman who is about to marry the man they both love. You will assume you know the anatomy of this tangled love triangle. Assume nothing. Twisted and deliciously chilling, Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkinen's The Wife Between Us exposes the secret complexities of an inevitable marriage and the dangerous truth we ignore in the name of love. Read between the lies.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Right? I love synopsises like this where you don't get a lot. You get just enough to make you excited to read it.
Yes.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh, that sounds so good. I think I have this on my want to read list because it sounds amazing.
Me too. Especially after reading An Anonymous Girl, because that one was so good. Now I was like, okay, now I have to go back and read their other book.
Yeah, exactly. So my last one is Echoes Between Us by Katie McGarry. It's a YA contemporary romance. Veronica sees ghosts, more specifically, her mother's ghost. The after images of blinding migraines caused by the brain tumor that keeps her on her fringes and consumes her whole life haunt her, even as she wonders if there is something more. Golden Boy Sawyer is handsome and popular, a state champion swimmer, but his adrenaline addiction draws him to Veronica. A girl with nothing to live for and a boy with everything to lose. Can they conquer their demons together? So this just came out, and I thought it sounded really good, and I like the cover as well.
So my final pick is My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. That's, yep. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, but it's close.
I think it's close.
Okay, it's a mystery. My Sister the Serial Killer is a Blackley comic novel about how blood is thicker and more difficult to get out of the carpet than water. When Kurit's dinner is interrupted one night by a distress call from her sister, Ayula, she knows what's expected of her. Bleach, rubber gloves, nerves of steel, and a strong stomach. This will be the third boyfriend Ayula's dispatched in, quote, self-defense, and the third mess that her lethal little sibling has left Kurit to clear away. She should probably go to the police for the good of the menfolk in Nigeria, but she loves her little sister, and as they say, family always comes first. Until, that is, Ayula starts dating the doctor where Kurit works as a nurse. Kurit's long been in love with him and isn't prepared to see him wind up with a knife in his back. But to save one would mean sacrificing the other.
Also, like, how could her sister do that? She was in love with him.
Right.
But also, it sounds really good, and I want to read it.
I mean, could you imagine if I called you up and was like, by the way, just killed Alex, so come help me clean it up. Alex. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what...
Yeah.
Because I imagine that her sister, like, meets these men.
And is like, but, like, knows what's going to happen to him, too.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Sounds really good, though.
It does. Well, let us know which side you're on, Valentine's Day or Anti-Valentine's Day, and which books that you want to read.
Yeah, which ones you're putting on your February TBR or March or whenever.
Whenever. Next year's TBR.
If you're like us and, procrastinate reading.
Yes, or just keep adding.
Right, yeah, no, that's what it is, really.
Okay, well, we better get going. We've got more tea to drink and books to read. Our social medias are all down below. Make sure to give us a follow. Make sure to also rate and review this podcast wherever you listen.
It helps us a lot.
Yes.
It helps us to be found by other readers and other podcast listeners.
Exactly. Come get personal with us on Patreon. You can be a book fairy, you can be a book dragon and get our mini episodes, or be a book wizard and get our after hours episodes.
Yes, and we are doing a lot of stuff over on Patreon, so it'd be great if you guys come join us.
Yeah, it's really fun. We do, with the mini episodes, we either do a book that month or we do a book to movie. We compare the two, and then after hours is kind of just a fun. We play games, we drink adult beverages, and we kind of just like maybe get silly
loose a little bit more.
Yeah, and maybe have some guests as well.
Yeah.
So come check us out over there. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.